Brad Garlinghouse just confirmed Mr. Pool, guys, and there's a huge announcement which connects to banks. By the way, I think we're due for another Black Swan event, which may target the banks going down or some type of liquidity issue, right? And XRP is going to come in as a solution to save the day. They know, but we do too. Now, financial advice, let us begin. Hello everyone, hope you guys are having an amazing day. XRP is around $2.30. Comment down below on how are you guys enjoying the storm or not, right? I truly am, because now it's giving us another buying opportunity quite soon to fill our bags even more if we haven't bought, okay? Because sooner or later, I do believe a crazy isolated pump could be coming up for XRP, so I'm quite excited. But first, let us go through the storm. Now, guys, we're from part of XRP in the XRP community. Now, this is quite interesting. Davey Schwartz just told us everyone to quiet down, okay? Something could be brewing. Now, another thing that I just realized and noticed is that the Ripple team are active. Not just a little bit, but a lot. What's going on? They just keep tweeting every day. From David Schwartz, please remind everyone in ASACE you know that they must explicitly invoke their right to remain silent in clear and unambiguous terms in interactions with police or investigators. Simply remaining silent does not get you the important legal benefits of the right to silence. I don't want to talk to you. I don't think I should answer that. Don't I have a right to remain silent? What's going on here? There's a lot of silence, right? Or people perhaps may have to quiet down, right? Like, shh. But remember, when there's silence, right? When everything's quiet, it means one thing. Shh is the last thing you'll hear before it's too late. Oh, wow. Is David Schwartz giving out a calm that it's about to become too late, right? We're at the point of everything becoming quiet, and then it's too late. That's actually fascinating, because when you look on the XRP versus Ethereum pairing, it's about to get too late, which means a crazy pump is imminent. Wow. Right? From XRPCC, everyone please stop and listen. Shh. Something is brewing here. I don't know if it's a black swan or something exciting, right? I think something exciting, to be fair. Look at this from Uptown Sal. I think we are supposed to be quiet, right? As ripples of mystery hint at the future's unfathomable course. In the future's hidden tapestry, whispers of destiny's code weave through the silence of 1,000 unspoken truths. Right? Oh, that was for 10/16 today. A confirmation from Big Shorts. What? Right? So that's how we know these accounts are interlinked, guys. Right? They're connected in some way, somehow. Unless it's a simulation, right? Or there's a script running, guys. Yeah, this is making me very excited, because it's the last thing we'll hear before it's too late, meaning the price will pump. Not right now, probably in the coming weeks, right? Which connects to the ETFs going live. So this is fantastic news to hear, right? Amazing. I'm getting really excited now. Now, from David Schwartz, likes are public again, or public on X again. They aren't. I just really want another community note. What's up with these random tweets, right? Quite random if you ask me. Someone asked David, what's your view on the market crash that recently happened? Was it market makers that caused it? He replied, I haven't looked at the causes and the actual mechanics closely, but I have looked at the effects. Sad face, right? But you know what happens after they liquidate everyone and wrecked everyone? Exactly, reverse it back higher. But I think that's going to be coming in the coming weeks, so prepare, because here comes again. This is how I know they're ramping up for something very exciting, guys, right? When everyone's feeling too bearish, even though I am bearish right now, but that's for the short term, right? The tides are about to shift, because here comes Brad Garlinghouse with a huge partnership, but we're going to be talking about it in a bit. The last thing he says, it's happening. The opportunity's here, and we are diving right in. It's happening. Where else have we heard it's happening before? Well, you got it from Mr. Pool. It's all happening. It's happening, right? 10:15 timestamp. By the way, look at that 10:15 timestamp. It's happening. Another confirmation, right? But then Jim Cramer the other day just posted it's happening as well. What's going on? It's finally happening. Wow. So for a second it was happening, but Jim Cramer had to come and put in a opposite effect here. It's finally happening. The crypto spec tail is wagging the S&P dog. This is what I most feared these last few weeks. What does that even mean, right? But it's finally happening, so it's not happening. Not yet, that is. Which makes sense. I think it's going to be happening in the coming weeks, right? But let's talk about this partnership and how there is a special calm here for banks. And it seems like banks or regional banks are about to implode. I'm not even kidding, right? Their stocks are tumbling down as we speak, folks, which is a foreshadowing of what's coming. Now, what's fascinating to me is Ripple comes out with a solution here from Monica Long. I'm excited for Ripple and GTreasury to help corporates move money around the world faster, cheaper, 24/7, 365 days, right? What, leveraging the XRP ledger, if you ask, right? And actively manage and grow their money through a safe, more efficient solution. It's the Ripple platform put to work at the global corporate scale, right? The scaling is going off chart here. They're scaling heavily, okay? Which obviously that's going to be the game plan, because Ripple is going to target everyone and everything, right, in a new financial system, which makes sense. The opportunity to unlock trillions in trapped capital for corporates is huge and ambitious, and did I say exciting? Here we go. Wow! Not only Brad Garlinghouse said it's happening, but Monica Long. Okay, now if you don't know who she is, she's the president of Ripple, guys, right, to enable the internet of value. But the last thing she says here is, did I say exciting? Here we go. Here we go. Exciting. I knew it. Right? Just because if you clearly look, should I show you guys something? Let me show you actually, so you guys understand what I'm talking about here. This is the only chart you have to look out for to realize it's about to get exciting. It's the XRP versus Ethereum chart. I'm not kidding. Last night I couldn't even go sleep, guys, because my heart was beating rapidly. Okay? It was zooming just by thinking about the future. In the coming weeks, this thing is going to reverse higher, I think. Okay, now I'm not going to be talking about this right now, but it's coming because the Ripple team knows. Do you guys understand now? Right? Here's Brad Garlinghouse saying it in plain sight as well.
And frankly, I think the ship has sailed. I think that you can't put the genie back in the bottle in the United States. I don't think.
Look at that, guys. He thinks the ship has sailed, right? Brad Garlinghouse, or shall I say, Bearable Guy 123, where are you? Sometimes I get the two confused, right? BG123, the ship has sailed. The ship has sailed. Exciting. Here we go. And then it's happening. Brad Garlinghouse, what's going on here? Do people not realize these comms? Again, the pump is imminent, probably in the coming weeks, which most likely will tie into ETFs launching, right? It's gonna be perfect timing. So this partnership, by the way, with Ripple has acquired GTreasury in $1 billion deal. Wow, $1 billion, right? So I'm guessing they sold some XRP there to acquire more companies and all that stuff, guys, right? To evolve and keep growing the XRP ledger, right? And its partnerships, right? Do you guys see how the rails are being set here? GTreasury is connected to 13,000 banks and has done over $12.5 trillion in payment volume, right? Payments volume. Look at that. Targeting payments. Targeting what? All the money. People think we're kidding. No. It's all about liquidity, and they're about to unlock it all. Do you guys understand? Right? Because there is trapped liquidity. When that liquidity is free, it's over. The oil will be running freely in that new financial system, which is XRP. This reminds me of Freemasons, right? G. But this partnership, by the way, and again, the banks are about to collapse. This connects to the banks as well. Why? Because GTreasury provides over 2,000 pre-configured connections to banks and global financial institutions worldwide. This includes direct API host-to-host and Swift integrations. These connections cover more than 13,000 banks. 13 against strikes. You guys see globally. It's literally every bank in the globe basically, right? When we talk about banks, exactly. You guys see, Ripple is preparing and planning before this event occurs. This is a black swan event, folks. Bank crash. There has been no news today on why regional banks have entered a correction, with majority of banks down -10% to 20% since the Fed has cut rates at the end of September. Banks are collapsing as we speak, guys. These regional banks. Okay, we told you this is the game plan. They're going to collapse the smaller banks and the system will become more centralized, right? They're going to kill as many banks as possible, the smaller ones. The large ones will still make it to the new financial system, right? This what you call a reckoning, guys. But again, XRP will come in as a savior at the end. It's connected to banks. GTreasury right here. GTreasury is part of the SWIFT certified partner program. Either directly or indirectly, XRP will save the day. You guys see? Okay. So clear as day. Banks are done for. Listen to this. We told you. Oops.
Okay, I'm back with one of those I told you so videos. Okay, remember guys, I have been telling you and impressing on you the liquidity issues with the banks and how you can tell if there's a liquidity issue by going to the repo market. The repo market is like the pawn shop for the banks, right? So when they need quick cash, they take their treasuries and their mortgage-backed securities and they get cash. So back on September 15th, there was a little bit of stress here on the banks. They took their treasuries, which are the equivalent of diamonds, and got quick cash. And look, we had that happen again on September 30th. So we had $5 billion in treasuries, i.e. diamonds, and $1 billion in mortgage-backed securities. Now keep in mind, mortgage-backed securities is basically the equivalent of pawning your guitar or a couch. You're really desperate when you have to use mortgage-backed securities. And okay, this is why I'm going to show you next, but this is why I believe President Trump, out of a miracle, got all of your direct deposits, military direct deposits, into your bank account on Tuesday morning when they were not due. You weren't even due a paycheck until the 15th. But he knew that all of those direct deposits that were missing on Friday the 10th could have caused a massive liquidity issue for your banks. Well, looky here. On the 15th, your banks are now really they now needed $4.75 billion. They use treasuries, but now $2 billion in crappy mortgage-backed securities. You guys, I don't think you understand. This shutdown is really bad. Look what's happening in the repo market. Look what's happening to your banks. If you guys do not figure out how to barter and broker a deal with the Republicans and Democrats, this for sure is going to have implications for the banks.
I understand. So that's why they shut down the government, right? Because there's an effect on the banks here, which will probably lead to these banks falling and collapsing like this happened before. I don't remember when, 2024, 2023, right, which crashed the markets, but then after it went higher, I believe. Everything, right? A black swan could be brewing here, but again, XRP saves the day. That's why they're partnering, getting ahead of the curve before the damn black swans even occur, right? Look what they say here. Quote, for too long, money has been stuck in slow, outdated payment systems and infrastructure, causing unnecessary delays, high costs, and roadblocks to entering new markets, problem that blockchain technologies are ideally suited to solve. Ripple's and GTreasury's capabilities together bring the best of both worlds, two worlds colliding, so treasury and finance teams can finally put their trapped capital to work. More liquidity freed up, better for the entire system. Process payments instantly, 24/7, never sleeps, the XRP ledger, and open up to new growth opportunities. It's time. That's why they're doing this. It's over. You have won. Do you understand? This acquisition is a watershed moment for treasury management. We have focused on providing the most compliant and feature-rich solutions to corporations around the globe. And by the way, this all happens on a Thursday, because today is a Thursday. I freaking love Thursdays. Who's ready for some fun? From BG123, he knew. How did he know? I don't know, but they're definitely in the know. Not financial advice. We told you so. What is that, Sophie's Mazes? See ya. Wow.